interest rates. The previous class we talked about the effect of an increase in the interest rate. That was yesterday. Today we want to talk about the effect of a reduction or a fall in the interest rates. But put in mind that when we talk about interest rates, there is what we call monetary policy. This is what initiated interest rates, and it is decided by the central bank of a country. So if there's going to be a change in the interest rate, it has to be through the central bank of the country, and it means they are initiating a monetary policy instrument. So that will decrease the interest rate or reduce the interest rate. So today the focus is on a reduction in the interest rate. You already know what interest rate is, right? What is interest rate? The price of
taking a loan.
The price of saving your money in the bank.
Yeah, that is interest rate. The price of money, either borrowing or saving. That's what.
Saving or taking a loan. So
that is. We're talking about what brings about a loan. An interest.
You take loan.
When you take a loan, you pay an interest on it. But what I'm asking is, what is interest rate? Which is the price of money. The price of borrowing, the price of saving. That is what interest rate is. Please don't model them together. There's loan. A loan is a credit facility that allows you to use it for a particular period of time, which has to be paid back.
Means when you take a loan, the banks take interest. When you save money, you take interest.
Yes. The bank pays you when you save. You pay the bank when you borrow. So that amount you borrow, that you pay on your borrowing, is called the interest rate. So who decides this? The central bank of the country through monetary policy. I think we're on the same page now. Are we on the same page now? Yeah. Great. So what are the effects of a low interest rate or a fall in interest rate? The first one is borrowing is encouraged. As soon as the interest rate reduces, it means borrowers will be enabled to borrow more. It encourages them to borrow more because the cost of borrowing has what? Reduced. Which simply means the price of borrowing reduces. And remember the law of demand. The higher the price, the lower the quantity demanded. The lower the price, the higher the quantity demanded. Yes or no? Yes or no, please?
Yes.
So there is an inverse relationship between between borrowing and interest rate. A fall in interest rate increases borrowing. A rise in interest rate reduces borrowing. So as soon as the interest rate falls, it means we are encouraged, we have the incentive to borrow more. So borrowers become better off because now they can borrow at a cheaper rate. So that increases their spending. Do you get the point I'm making or not? A fall in interest rates makes borrowing or a loan becomes cheaper. Because loan becomes cheaper, it means everybody can have access to loan. So having access to loan encourages you to spend more. Your spending power increases. And if your spending power increases, your purchasing power increases, it means within the economy, aggregate demand will increase. And as soon as aggregate demand increases, you can now buy those things that you cannot buy before now. Your standard of living will improve. Standard of living is how you live your life, what you have access to. But now that you have enough money, it means you can as well buy those things that you were unable to buy before now. Put your head up, please.
What's that? What's the thing that's make the interest fall? Like what?
Yeah, the monetary policy. So what will bring about a fall in interest rate? If the government of a country, put your head up, please. If the government of a country figure out that within the economy things are not moving well, like there's deflation, or no, let's not talk about deflation. Let's say there is unemployment.
What?
Unemployment. People do not have jobs. If people do not have jobs, it means spending, aggregate demand within the economy is falling. The standard of living of a country is falling. People do not have much as they used to have. So one of the ways in which government can solve that problem is through monetary policy. So for monetary policy, we have expansionary and contractionary. So if government wants to encourage people to start buying more, to spend more, because people do not have job. Note, you won't have job because businesses are not expanding. People will be employed because businesses are expanding or businesses are investing. People are investing. Yes or no? So one way to encourage people to invest so that others can have a job is reducing the interest rate. So if the government of Libya figure out that there's high unemployment rate in Libya, one of the policies to correct unemployment is monetary policy. So with monetary policy, a low interest rate, it means entrepreneurs will start thinking about borrowing more money from banks. So when they borrow, do they want to eat the money? No. They will use it for investment. So as soon as they continue to invest, there will be the need for workers. Yes or no? Do you guys hear what we're talking about here? Please put your head up. Sit up like this. Please, get the point here. It's important you listen to me here, and it's very, very important. These things do not just come from heaven. There are reasons why they come into place. There are reasons why they come into place. Government will not just wake up tomorrow and say, oh, we are reducing the interest rate. No. There would have been a reason why the government of Libya would want to reduce the interest rate. There would have been a reason why the government of Libya would want to increase the interest rate. One of the reasons is what I just talked about now. Let's assume there is unemployment. There's unemployment in Libya.
Okay.
People do not have job. That's what unemployment is. Unemployment is a situation whereby people who are willing to work could not secure a job. That's what unemployment is. So if unemployment rate in Libya is increasing, whatever I'm telling you here is very important. Put your mind into it. It's not funny here, it's reality here. This is a situation that has to be corrected by the government of a country. Because with unemployment, it means people do not have money to spend. With high unemployment rate, if unemployment is increasing, spending reduces. Because if I don't have a job, I don't have money. And if I don't have money, I cannot spend. Yes or no? That is how it works. So if government of a country wants to reduce unemployment, which is one of the macroeconomic objectives, macroeconomic objectives. Macroeconomic objectives are things that government wants to achieve in the country. One of the macroeconomic objectives is to reduce unemployment. Because if unemployment continues to rise in the country, poverty will come in.
Mr. How to reduce the unemployment?
To reduce it, one of the ways in which government can reduce unemployment is to use policy, like monetary policy. Monetary policy is a policy instrument that government use in the course of increasing the supply of money or interest rate. So if government of Libya figure out that this is increasing in Libya, it can use monetary policy to solve it. How can it use monetary policy to solve it? The government of Libya will reduce interest rates. Reduction in interest rate means borrowing becomes cheaper. If borrowing becomes cheaper, people have access to money. Yes or no? Stop writing, please. People will have more access to money. So when you have money, will you spend or not? You will spend. Now, there are two things here. Because borrowing becomes cheaper, people have access to money, firms have access to money. Firms will be able to expand their business, yes or no? Firms will be able to expand their business because they have money, yes or no?
Yes.
Good. People will have money too, yes or no? So we can now spend, yes or no? Because we can spend, the demand for goods increases. The demand for goods increases because now we have money, isn't it? So because we have money, we demand for more goods from businesses. And there's what we call demand for labor. Demand for labor is a derived demand, which simply means we don't employ workers until we need them to get a job done. So as soon as demand for goods and services increases, firms will have to employ more workers to meet up with the demand within the economy, which simply means because people want our goods, we need more workers to provide for those customers that need our goods. So that means they have to employ more workers. Do you see how it works here now? So with monetary policy, through reduction in interest rates, people have access to money, they demand for more goods, businesses demand for more workers, unemployment will what? Reduce. Do we get it now or not?
Yes.
Are you with me? Are you here?
Yes.
Unemployment is a situation that should not occur in a country. It brings about poverty. It reduces the standard of living. So to improve the standard of living, government will come up with a policy like this. With this, borrowing is encouraged. People now have more money to spend. Because they have more money to spend, the demand for goods and services will increase. Firms will have to meet up with this demand. And because they have to meet up with this demand, they employ more workers. Employing more workers means people have jobs. People that have jobs will have money. They can also spend. That is the point about all this. Spending power increases because demand for goods increases. If demand for goods increases, firms will have to employ more workers to meet up with the demand. Demand for labor. Demand for labor is the quantity of workers firms are willing to employ at a given wage rate. Is it making sense here? Is it making sense?
It's more difficult, Mr.
You just have to listen and focus. Whatever we talk about here, it does not just start from here. It started from a situation that government wants to solve. That is why we have the government of a country. The government of a country must solve our situation. So if people do not have job in this country, that means there's unemployment. And one of government's objectives is to reduce unemployment. To reduce this, government will not just come out and say, oh, there's unemployment, we will reduce it. No, there should be an instrument, a policy that will enable the situation to change. People don't just talk, they do. So talk is cheap. We can say I can be a pilot tomorrow. It's talk. It is cheap. I could be here and drive a car, and I don't even know how to drive a car. But what we are talking is enforcement. It has to be practical. It has to be empirical. So whatever government says, government must do it. So one way to do it is to ensure that interest rate falls. Because if interest rate falls, it becomes practicable to go to the bank to borrow money. So if you can go to the bank to borrow money, then you have more access to money. You have money with you. You can demand for goods. As soon as you demand for goods, businesses will understand that, oh, there's more demand for our goods. We need to provide more. We don't have workers. Let's employ more workers. Because they're employing more workers, unemployment, which is a situation, starts reducing. That is the first situation here. Is it clear now, please? The second one, saving is discouraged. We said interest rate is the price of borrowing. As soon as the interest rate falls, savers become worse off. They don't want to save anymore because the return on saving has reduced. Everybody, if you want to save your money to the bank, you are saving because you want a high return on your saving. But with a lower interest rate, your return on saving reduces. That discourages you from saving. So people would rather spend than save. Because when you save, it is not beneficial to you. Do we get the point here? Savers are worse off, so people would not want to save. There's no incentive to save because the interest rate is low. If the interest rate is increasing, your return on saving will increase, then you can save. But here, the interest rate is falling. The return on investment the return on saving is falling. It will discourage you from saving. People would not want to save, they would rather spend. And part of what they will spend on is investments. And what is investment? Spending on capital goods, businesses, equipment, machinery. These are what investment is about. Do we get it?
Yes.
The third one, increased demand for housing. Now we have a lot of money with us because the interest rate is falling. People could think about obtaining a lot of property. Because I have a lot of money, I could buy houses, I could buy property because I have money. And why do I have this money? I'm able to have this money because the interest rate is what? Falling. Does the third one make sense here? Do you guys get what I'm saying here? Good. The fourth one, cost of production and competitiveness. Remember yesterday when we were talking about an increase in the interest rate. An increase in the interest rate increases your expenses. Because some businesses, they would have borrowed a loan, they would have taken a loan from the bank. And in their profit and loss account, they have to pay interest. So if interest increases for businesses, you better be careful. If interest increases for businesses, it means they have to pay more, which reduces their profit. Talking here, please. Let's be on record. Whatever I say here is final. Whenever you have your exams, you don't expect me to be here with you. I will never be there. I give you your papers, I'm gone. You would never see me. The only time I explain to students is in the classroom. It's on the record. This is what I do. I give my life, I give everything I've got to ensure that students understand in the classroom. You will never see me in your exam day. You will never see me. So it's on record now. So put your mind here. I'm telling you, I'm begging you now, whatever question you have, ask me now. If I'm too fast, tell me. I will try to be slower. If you don't understand, ask now. It's on record. I will never be in your classroom to explain anything when you are doing the exams. It's an exam. I'm not supposed to be there with you. So if you like, you put your mind here and understand. If you like, you put your mind. It's your cup of tea. But I've said what I have to say. And it's on record that I have explained the way I'm supposed to explain. The third one, I'm going to deviate into accounting. Accounting, we have the profit and loss account. In the profit and loss account, there is an item called interest, which is part of the expenses of a business. If the interest rate increases, businesses will have to pay more on the expenditure, which simply means their profit will drop. Because the net profit is gross profit minus expenses. So if your expenses is increasing, the profit you make reduces. On the other hand here, with a fall in the interest rate, it means the interest you have to pay on borrowing reduces. Because the interest you have to pay on borrowing reduces, it encourages you to want to borrow more, to invest more. Your profit will rise. As a result of that, you can expand your business. That is competitiveness. If more businesses are expanding, it increases the competitive level of a country. Do we get the point we're making here? A reduced cost of production encourages you to expand your business. Because it is only when your cost of production reduces that you can make more profit. Profit is TCTR minus TC. If your cost is increasing, your profit will fall. If your cost is reducing, your profit will rise. It is only when your profit rises that you think about expanding. Does it make sense here, please? Great. The next one, incentive to invest. Due to lower cost of borrowing, firms become incentivized to borrow, which will in turn increase investment. If the interest rate falls, businesses have the incentive to borrow more. And as a result of that, they can buy equipment, they can buy machinery, they can invest in technology for expansion to increase their efficiency and productivity. That is the next part. And the second to the last one, economic growth. Investment, capital goods. When you buy equipment, you buy machines. What do you use them for? You use them for output. Yes or no? You bought equipment, you bought machines for what? To produce. Isn't it? So if you are able to produce more, what happens? More goods, more services within the economy. People will be able to buy whatever they need to buy. The economy is growing. Because if output increases, the aggregate demand will increase. I told you what aggregate demand is. C plus I plus G plus X minus M. Consumption, investment, government spending, export minus import. So because you are able to invest, output will increase, the economy will grow. have more goods in this country, it means your output is increasing. That is what we call economic growth. But if output is reducing in this country, it is economic decline. Economic decline. Is it making sense here, please? With a low interest rate, our economy will what? Will boom. Things will get better. Any question about economic growth? The last one, revenue received from DIRT. We know what DIRT is, deposit interest retention tax. Deposit interest retention tax is paid in the UK, in Ireland, sorry. It's for savers. Because you save more, you pay more in terms of saving. But as soon as the interest rate falls, savers do not want to save. They would rather spend. As a result of that, DIRT from government reduces. On the other hand, government will be able to make more from CGT. What is CGT? Capital gain tax. What's a capital gain tax? A capital gain tax is a tax on your assets. Please get the point I'm making here. There's CGT. Note, a fall in interest rate reduces the amount of savers. People do not want to save anymore because there's a fall in interest rate. So which means revenue from government through DIRT reduces. That is the problem for government. That is the disadvantage. On the other hand, government will increase, corporation tax will increase, CGT will increase. What is corporation tax? Corporation tax is tax on profit. What is capital gain tax? Capital gain tax is the tax you pay for selling your assets. You know what assets are? Your building, your land, these things, what you sell. So, because you have so much money with you now, you will buy building to sell at a later date, yes or no? Because you have so much with you, because you have invested as a business, you will be making more profit because your cost of production has reduced. If your cost of production reduces, your profit what? Increases, yes or no? So it means government will be able to make more profit, more revenue from corporation tax. These things are linked together. Please get the facts and put them in your mind. Cost of production. This is cost of production. With a low interest rate, the cost of production falls. Profit increases. Yes or no? Because profit is increasing, you pay tax on your profits to the government. We call it corporation tax. Government will take corporation tax from you because you are making more profit. That increases government revenue. Based on the fact that interest rate has reduced, your spending power as a consumer increases. Yes or no? Because you have so much money with you, you can buy assets, you can buy land, you can buy building. You buy them now to sell later. When you are selling them later, whatever profit you make, we call it capital gain tax, CGT. So, which means for every asset you sell, you have to pay tax to the government. So if government is not getting revenue from savers, government will get revenue from spenders, investors. Do we understand this point here, please?
Yeah.
Savers, yesterday we talked about an increase in interest rate. An increase in interest rate encourages saving. If saving increases, deposit interest retention tax will increase for government. Government revenue will increase. But in this case, government revenue will fall on DIRT because people will be discouraged to save. On the other hand, because people are investing, people have spending power. These two, this increases this for government, this increases this for government. Do we get it? Do we understand the point here, please? So these are the effects of an increase, a fall in the interest rate on the economy. Any question? Thank you.